Hi folks, in this video we are going to get something we've waited a long time for. We are finally getting our deep well drilled. Now summer has gone and we're into winter, well, on the fringes of winter, so this will be a next year. We will use it next year, but that's fine because there's a lot to do, and fingers crossed, I've got some injured fingers here that I'm crossing. We will strike water at around 200 feet because you pay by the foot and by the hour. It gets very expensive if you go deeper than that. Well, it gets expensive anyway, but that's what I'm planning for. So let's get into it.
Game on. Big old drill. Can't believe this is really happening. Drilling day. They got down about 20 feet, I think, 25 feet. I'm told that this is like potash, and they put that down here as they go down so nothing leaches into the well from the outside. So if like a dog peed here and the well's over here, the pee isn't going to leach over into the well. But it's nice to see that the auger is completely, you cannot get hurt. There's one of the heads. Yeah, this all of the waste slag comes out of here. You can tell that we've got kind of really nice blue clay here. Be nice to line the pond. But anyway, they've already welded one rod, so they put these rods down. They look like they're 20 footers, and then they weld around the perimeter and then keep on going. So pretty exciting. I'm still a little tentative about the water hitting part. That's the big part. You got to hit water. What's happened is they found water. They tried to drill through the aquifer, and they've actually drilled into the rock below the aquifer. So now they're trying to pull the pipe back up. But it's really wedged because the sand is super tight. So they're trying to like shimmy the pipe back up so that it's sitting in a good pool of water. I hope it's a good pool. So you can see behind me that big silver tub looking thing. That's kind of they push air into the hole that then forces the slag and whatever up the hole. So you can see this slag runoff here. It's everything they drilled through, but what we're hoping right now is that water comes out of there. They've actually gone too deep, so they had to back it off a bit, and now we're waiting for that hole to fill in that they drilled too deep in, and then we should see, fingers crossed, water coming out. We're 180 feet right now, which is pretty similar to our neighbors. They did say to me there might be a deeper aquifer, but you have to have deep pockets because you're paying by the foot. So it could be another 200 feet down. You might hit the mother lode, but do you want to roll the dice and pay that? I can't afford that. So I'm really hopeful this does the trick, though. Well, it's not the best news. They're down 180 feet and you're paying by the foot. there's not water coming out, not enough. It makes me wonder whether we should have witched, but it's too late now. I had the whole summer I could have witched, I just didn't do it. Kind of trusted these guys, but it is what it is, and we need water, we need a good supply, so it looks like we're gonna have to keep on drilling, and goodness knows. I asked the guy, what's the deepest well you've drilled, and he said 890 feet. That's a lot of pipe. That's a lot of money. And the first one he drilled at that depth came up dry. Can you imagine? Okay, so after leaving the well sit for the night, it seems like it healed itself because they dug a hole a little bit deeper than they needed to, and that was creating a bit of a problem. So everything settled overnight, and it seems like there's water down there, but we're not totally sure. So what the guys are doing now is pulling up the sand that's at the bottom, so cleaning the kind of aquifer area out. And then they've grabbed a sand sample from down the bottom, and they're drying out the sand now. And once the sand is dry, they're able to pick the right size filter to put down there, because if you pick a filter too small, it's a problem. If you pick a filter too big, it'll get immediately plugged. So quite a process. This is where we find gold.
Well, we'll put it this way. I've never had somebody phone us back and have us drill another well because they found enough gold in the cuttings to pay for the well. So, I get asked that a lot. You guys ever find gold? Some pretty serious piles of black sand.
You want to strike oil?
Lots of pyrite.
Yeah, fool's gold.
Yeah, but typically pyrite and black sand indicate, or show an indication of gold. So I've probably pulled lots of gold out of the ground, just never knew it.
Must be pretty exciting drilling for oil. I mean, probably really disheartening sometimes, but when you strike it.
Well, they spend so much money
in research, right?
In research and planning, and once in a while they still miss. So,
yeah, they have spent a lot on geologists, right?
Yeah, they do all sorts of different tests, seismic and everything else. That's it? You what? Ham? Nah.
Yeah, it's
We'll throw that in the oven and bake it. Weld it up. What it's doing. Needles in there.
yeah. Gabe, come to inspect.
What's that?
So what they did is they heated the sand up, and now they're running the sand through a series of filters see what size the sand is so they know what filter to put down the well.
So if they hit
So
water,
Look at all those shinies, that's all pyrite.
Oh yeah, see that?
Look at all
That's
those
like
shinies in there.
fool's gold.
Yeah, a bunch of little fool's gold. Do a whole bunch of fool's gold, pyrite, and then there'll be a few slivers of steel in there too. Just
Yeah, there's
as
probably,
we're drilling, we're making shavings too.
I think the well's going to be irony, right? Most of them at this depth.
Yeah, it's pretty common to find iron.
that's
It's one of the
it.
more common materials to find.
Then so they hit water.
It's a lot of pyrite.
Daddy?
Do you want to save the pyrite, Gabe?
Sure. So do we hit some kind?
Go get a little thing and they'll pour the pyrite in for you.
Just get a plastic container and so did we hit water?
Well,
Well, every indication of it. So
they're just
We're deciding what size of screen to put in.
Oh, okay.
so it doesn't just suck up sand only.
Right.
So they've
Once we get a screen in there and start bailing on it, then it'll tell how much water.
That makes sense.
and with the way we pulled the casing back yesterday, we didn't. If we put a screen in it and you guys aren't happy with the flow rate, we can pull the screen back out and
Keep
continue drilling.
mm-hmm.
So if I ran down and cut the bottom off, then we wouldn't have that option. That's why I was fighting with it yesterday, trying to get it back up. There's your black sand right there.
Yep, that's a good sign.
Well, that's a good sign for gold. Doesn't necessarily indicate water, but it's a common thing to find. When you see gold pan or see the black sand, they go nuts.
Mm-hmm. So if this was your farm, what would be a minimum gallons per minute you'd want to be seeing? You've
Well,
got sprinklers and
I
6?
this point it's as much as you can get, but I would like to see somewhere over 5.
Yeah. I've
5
heard.
gives you a comfy number to do pretty much anything you want with.
Yeah.
So there's a whole lot of 6. There's a little
So
bit of 8.
Because I was curious, like we've just come out of a drought. If you drilled this like 2 months from now when we're in the thick of the rainy season, does it make much difference that far down?
No,
No.
that far down you're talking years for
To
water
check.
to get down there.
Right.
Interesting. I guess because of
Yeah,
all the
multiple.
different.
And rock wells, you can see
layers.
that, but
Yeah, because I was
depending
like,
on the source, right?
I was worried if we did it in the middle of winter, we'd get and then in the middle of summer, it's like, oh, it's dried up.
Yeah,
But it's
that's
not
a lot of
gonna-
silt. That's all the silt, so that's finer than 6 though.
Meaning,
Do you have a filter?
It's just fine.
for fire?
Oh yeah. Oh, we should have a couple of 8s, which will filter out from there up, and then we should have a couple of 6s. I'm thinking a couple of 6s.
it's kind of a cool thing, hey? Like they use a sonar, put a sonar down there to see if the water's like losing height, and it's not just drill a hole, see you later. It's like quite
No,
a bit
it's-
involved.
Scientific.
That's the sonar, Gabe. So the signal is bouncing off the water and bouncing back up to his machine, and then it tells him if the water's dropping.
Just like echolocation, a bat, same principle. It measures the time from when it sends a signal to when it receives the signal, and based on that time, it gives you a distance.
Cool. I saw that huge. It almost looks like that's a giant's. I don't know what's it called.
A wrench?
Yeah, giant's wrench.
That
It
starts out being 5 feet long. That's a 5-foot pipe wrench.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Wow.
So, and then we cut it off and glue it to a hydraulic cylinder. So, get more torque.
Yeah, I guess so.
And we break them.
Yeah,
We break the hooks in half, and I've broken these guys.
yeah.
Strip the nuts strip the threads right off the jaws, and
Have you ever had cables snap and like
oh yeah,
run for your life kind of stuff?
oh yeah,
Yeah, we've had the chains blow up and all
yeah.
sorts of-
Oh,
had the
man.
chains break.
I know. looks like some water.
What's that?
We're happy. We got water.
Statics 132. 132. 150. So 18 feet of drawdown. 3.6 feet per gallon. And then multiply that by, what are we, 180 minus 132.
So when you say static, it's where it's just kind of sitting at its resting
So static
spot.
is where the water level rests in the ground.
Got it.
So the hydraulic level has
That's
pushed
measured.
the water up
Right.
to a certain level.
It's also measured from surface down,
Got it.
the static.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you should be mathematically over 10 by the time you get to the bottom.
That's good news, man.
Yeah.
I'm stoked. I thought it was going to be
So,
like,
I gotta
guys,
rate-
2 gallons
'cause I
a
can
minute.
only
What do you want to
move-
do?
Yeah, because I can only move so many gallons a minute with this thing,
Yeah,
because it's a 2 minutes, almost a 2 minute cycle.
to get
I
up
can
and
only
down.
pull, yeah, it's a 10-gallon baler, and at that depth I can only pull it out every 2 minutes.
Yeah,
So I can only rate, I'll write 5 on the well log, but it makes more than 5.
yeah.
So
Because you're just really conservative on the well log. Like,
well, I
worst
can
case
only
scenario.
rate it at what I can physically see and move.
Yeah,
Right, I can't rate it on its potential.
right.
Like we had one.
Because it's not
that-
accurate.
Yeah, it's not a guarantee.
So you can see the guys behind me are packing up, and I've got great news. We found at 190 feet, more or less, we've got about 10 gallons a minute. So 5 to 6 gallons a minute gives you more water than you could probably use. 10 gallons a minute means you've got excess. And I was asking him, you know, when it rains, if we did drill this well in the middle of the rainy season, would we get kind of an unrealistic representation of what we're going to get in a drought? And he said, no, that water's been down there for years and years and years. It's not runoff water. It's like deep in the ground, which is kind of cool. So I'm really, really happy. They didn't have to drill deeper. We thought we were going to have to bite the bullet and just keep on drilling down. They let the well settle overnight, pulled out all of the silt, and we've got a really healthy replenishing well that replenishes 10 gallons per minute, which is a lot of water. So I'm really happy. These guys are fantastic to work with. Red Williams really kind of like helped me understand the whole process, didn't kind of hide it from me, and super interesting. And I've got a lot of respect for these drillers because they're kind of like working with something they can't see. So there's a lot of talent in reading the soil, reading the sand, using sonar equipment and all this stuff. So if I was looking for a job, I would like to do that. It'd be interesting. It's not just every day's the same, it's always different. So pretty stoked. So there it is. That pipe goes 200 feet down. And now we have to ditch from there all the way to the house. And I've already ditched from the downstairs property. There's a pipe right there. And I gotta bring that all the way up to this spot. So a lot of work yet to do. But this is a big exciting moment. Off they go. So here we are with a well. A bit of a mess left behind, but it's just sand. Nothing that Rosie can't clear up. And this little 8-inch pole here goes 200 feet into the ground. And I'm told, which is kind of a mystery when you look at that pole, you're like, oh, I hope that you're given what they say you're given. But I'm told we're going to get 8 to 10 gallons a minute out of this thing, which is way better than better. I thought 6 best case scenario. We've got 8 to 10. Now they could only guarantee 6 because their tube that they throw down the hole to collect water can only pull up 6 gallons at a time. So by the time you've got it up 200 feet and emptied it and put it back down again, the well has already started to replenish. But from experience, they say that with the sonar testing, because as soon as they pull it up, they throw the sonar down, it looks to them like there's 10 gallons a minute down there, but they can only write on the form that it's a guaranteed 6. So 6 is good, 10 is amazing. So really, really happy. The guys at Red Williams Drilling were absolutely fantastic. I have a lot of respect for those drillers. They're not just simply drilling holes in the ground. They are testing the sand. They are looking at the material coming out of the ground. They are throwing a sonar down there. They're understanding how the geology works under the ground. And to me, seems like a really cool job. If I was looking for a job outside what I do, that I wouldn't like the fact that you have to drive all over God's creation, but very interesting, and every hole is different, every ground is different. So yeah, I'm very grateful because there was a very real chance that they could have not hit water at 200 and had to keep on drilling to God knows where to find the water we needed. So the fact that we let it rest for a night and they came back the next day and the hole had kind of healed over was golden. So we got what we wanted. So I'm really happy about that.